Welcome to Spark Nature Week 3, What's Beneath Our Feet? Today we're exploring soil, testing different areas on our land as we prepare for gardening. Come along for our investigation.
Perfect, so welcome guys. Today we're gonna work on what's underneath our feet, and you guys already explored some of it in the stream bed today. So we're gonna look at what is soil and what it's made up of and how it's different in different spots where we're going. Later on in the year, we're going to do some gardening. So we're gonna test our garden beds and see what our soil pH is. And one of the reasons we wanna know what the pH is that some plants like different environments. They like a different acidity or alkalinity to what they grow in. For us to know what we have, so then if we know we need to change it a little bit, do we need to add more leaves? Do we need to add a few more eggshells or more compost? And that just gives us a good baseline on what we need to add in or amend our soil. We talked about soil and dirt. And someone once told me that dirt is what was underneath her refrigerator, but soil what was in the ground. And the difference between dirt and soil is our soil is living. Even if we don't see it right away, there's different little bacterias and microbes and all these little things that are inside the soil. And that's not even counting the fun things we can see, the beetles, the worms, the different bugs and grubs that are chewing up all of that organic matter that's decaying and then turning into the soil above us, or below our feet and the top of the ground. So we're gonna look at that today. We're gonna test the soil over at our garden bed. We'll test our stream to see what the makeup of the soil is here and see if the plants like a different acidity here based on what's growing. And then we'll test our wetlands over on the other side that's not quite in the water, not quite our garden bed. And that'll give us 3 different things to compare and contrast later on. So we talked about pH. pH tells us how acidic or sour like a lemon, or how basic like baking soda, or what else would be basic that you would taste? Maybe like tea. Tea's kind of basic. It'd have that bitter, that tannic quality, and it'll tell us what it is. When I turn this on, it's gonna go right to 7. 7 is neutral. It's kind of right in the middle. But right now I have this special device that's going to give us an instant reading and tell us what the pH of our beds in the soil is. Most plants like a slightly acidic soil. Now some of our favorite plants like blueberries, they like a really acidic soil, almost in the 5s. And the reason that the different minerals, the plant can take them up at pHs. So when a plant is in the right soil pH, it takes up the most nutrients.
We tested the garden soil with a digital meter, then collected samples for pH strip testing later. At the stream and cove, we repeated the same process, digital testing first, followed by collecting the soil in mason jars to compare results using the second method.
The test, we used our electronic one, and now we're going to do the manual version. So here's the rule with the test strip. Remember Miss Amanda told us that our skin is acidic, right? We don't want to touch the little part of the test strip. When I hand it to you, you're going to make sure to hold on to it's got a lot of space. You can hold on anywhere, but don't touch these little yellow and green spots, okay? So I'm going to hand you that. You're going to take 1 drop. That's all you need. And you're going to put it on the green and the yellow, and then you're just going to hold it there. And then we're going to come around. I'm going to come around. You're going to look on here. Then we can match it with our pH indicator here.
The kids really enjoyed using the pipettes to gather droplets of water and carefully place them onto the test strips. After patiently waiting, they took turns comparing the results using the color chart. This method was definitely trickier than the digital one, but we loved the more hands-on tactile approach and showing the children that there are multiple ways to gather information.
So we got a 5.8. Now what about the garden? What did the garden prove? 5.6. That was the consensus. What was the consensus over here in the cove? What number do we think? 7? They're gonna go as 7.0. We kind of got some different results. These two don't match. These two don't match. The garden, There's a lot more interpretation when you have to kind of guess on where the color matches. We used our tap water here. The tap water was slightly acidic. So that would make sense if every one of these went down a little bit because we used acidic water. This is what we got when we just tested the soil with our probe. When we added our water that we probably water our plants with, we got different numbers. They went down. And you were asking, how can I amend the soil? What's the number one thing you got to give your garden to grow? Water. And water here in Pennsylvania, especially if you're on a well, has different minerals. It has a different pH. It shows us that when you add your water, you might get a different pH level in your soil based on whatever water you're using. So it might be good to test whatever water you have too. Because if you have a water treatment at your house or something like that, they might be adding mineral or salts or things like that to soften the water or amend it. So it's always good to check what your water pH is too for watering your garden to make sure it's healthy. Obviously, you're going to water your garden with whatever water you have. But if you know what your water pH is and you know what your soil pH is, you know what you can add in. We talked about if you want to raise the pH, down at the Cove, we found out that it had a higher alkalinity. And when we tested that charcoal, we found that was super high. That was like 9. So if you were down by the creek and you say, I want to put a garden there, maybe you could mix in some charcoal or wood ash down into the spot you're going to get it closer into this 7 range that we're looking for normally for a garden. So just keep that in mind. In experiments, they give us information, and we got to know the variables. So the variable here was the water. And the water in your garden is also a variable, and that's one of the ways that can affect the pH of what you're going to be growing.
With our experiments complete, we shifted into art, creating watercolor cross-sections of different soil layers.
What are we going to do for our soil study today? We're going to do a cross-section watercolor. If you've not heard that term before, cross-section, I've done 2 examples, okay? I've done a 3D cross-section for my advanced artists, and I've got a regular cross-section for my younger artists. Cross-section is, imagine you have a burger, right? Everybody knows what a hamburger looks like. I take a knife and I cut it in half and I turn the sides of the hamburger. You can see the bun, you could see lettuce, cheese, tomato, meat, maybe more cheese, and then bread, right? That's a cross-section, is if you cut something in half. So what we're gonna do is create the layers of the ground. There are layers in the ground all beneath our feet that go all the way to the bottom of the earth. We are gonna draw it first in pencil, okay? So when you take your pencil for the first time, choose which one do you wanna do? Do you wanna do the 3D one? Or do you wanna do the 2D one?
The children began by sketching in pencil, labeling each layer: humus, topsoil, subsoil, parent rock, and bedrock. They had full creative freedom to add in details like animals, bugs, and even dinosaur fossils, then used watercolors to add in color and depth. The final pieces came out beautifully. We loved seeing some of the children choose a 2D approach, while others challenged themselves with the 3D version. Overall, it was such an enriching day. We truly believe in teaching skills like this so kids can understand and care for the soil, an essential step towards growing their own food. We hope this inspires you. Thanks for being here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Help us to spread the spark. And don't forget, get yourself and your kids outside.